Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We're back with my friend Lotus, and we were talking about meditation, being mindful, and connect with your heart. Lotus, welcome
Mhm.
back. I'm glad you were able to come back with us to talk more about what you do to help people connect with their heart and really have that transformation and being mindful on whatever they're doing. So
Mhm.
I know like you talk a lot about mindfulness. So how does that make a difference when in people business and people everyday life?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's a really good question. So, mindfulness for me is one of those really key ingredients for living a life that is meaningful, that has a depth to it, that has a feeling of connection. And oftentimes it's missing for us because our attention is so fragmented and we are constantly being distracted by so many different things. And when that happens, it leaves this feeling of like, I'm not even sure really where I am or what's going on. It's like you're just going through the motions and trying to keep your head above water. And it leads to this feeling of stress and dissatisfaction in life. And so when we can just slow down and actually really notice what's happening in the present moment, it brings such a feeling of satisfaction into our lives. So, for example, when I actually put my phone down and look into the eyes of the person that is talking to me and take a deep breath, and this is what I do with all of my clients. Like, I never allow myself to think about anything except what they are bringing to me. And so I just bring 100% of my presence to that moment. And it's so pure and it's so full, it's so complete. And they can feel that connection and really know that I care about them, that I'm listening and I'm giving them my full attention. And so we can apply that to a million different moments all day long, to when we're eating our food, drinking water, when you're outside in nature. Like, so much of the time, people go for a walk to de stress, and all they do is think, 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 think. But if you can actually just pause and say, gosh, let me just notice 5 different things right now. What can I see? What can I hear? What can I smell? What can I feel? What can I taste? And to just let yourself drop into your body and into your senses. Maybe notice your breath, the way your body's moving, what it's like to breathe fresh air. And just by tuning in that way, it lets the mind calm, it lets the mind and the body relax and lowers that level of stress.
Mhm. Absolutely. So a lot of people complain sometimes, like, I can't do that. 100 different things jump into my brain, so I cannot stop that from coming to my brain. So
Right.
what do I do? So
Mhm.
what's your answer
Mhm.
for that?
Yeah, great question. And you know what? The good news is you don't actually have to make those things stop happening. You could just let them kind of fade into the background. So your mind can keep thinking, and yet you can really notice that you're also reaching for a glass. You can feel the glass in your fingertips. You can really taste the water as you drink it. And for that moment, your attention is on the water and on drinking. And so it's just a little teeny moment. It's not like some big, huge half an hour meditation sit. But the more that you can piece together these little moments, when you can actually taste that bite of food, or notice when your head hits the pillow, or what it feels like to hug your child, those moments, they all add up.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
I guess with the training, like in the beginning when I started practicing meditation and mindfulness, I felt like, oh my God, like I was
Yeah.
annoyed, like because I can't stop my thinking.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
with practice, I was able to stop my thinking more longer and longer. And now, like I still like things pass like through my mind, but I can like, okay. bass and
Mhm.
refocus. So yeah, like everything I think we can do with practice. And
Mhm.
when someone try to being mindful, this is something like really, really great, great thing and valuable to learn this skill. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to ask you
Absolutely.
about fun facts. Your name is not Lotus, like your name was gifted to you. And I thought like this is a
Mhm.
great story to share with the audience. So if you would like
Mhm.
to mention that like story, that would be fun for our audience to learn more from you, learn more about you.
Mhm. Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a pretty fun story, and I guess the main thing about it is part of my own personal healing journey has been sitting in many meditation retreats, which is day after day of meditation, as well as many plant medicine ceremonies, and that's actually trained me to be someone who works in the realm of the sacred as well as the everyday life. And so this was just a really special day where I was gifted by an elder this name. And it happened to be the same day that I was out in the woods in Colorado and I saw a bear only 30 feet away. And I also went to this ceremony where I know this sounds really crazy, but they had hot coals.
Oh,
And people actually walk across the hot coals. It turns out you can do that.
oh.
And it was under a full moon. So it was just the most amazing day ever. And what I love about the name, though, is the symbolism of it. The lotus flower grows in the underneath the water and in the mud. And that is really our lives in many ways. We are tumbling around with all of the struggles of being human. One of my favorite teachers says the leading cause of old age, sickness, and death is being born. There's just no escaping it. Like our lives are filled with challenges. But what we can do is start to learn how to work with those challenges, how to use our skills to be able to meet them with more grace and more ease. And that's basically the growing of the lotus flower into its beauty and radiance. So we can have more of an open heart, open mind, generous spirit, and learn how to be, kind and loving towards ourselves and towards others.
Awesome. What a lovely name. I love Lotus. I like they come back every year in the spring, like around my
Mhm.
home, and I love them. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now before
Sure.
I want to make sure that we mention your retreat. You have an upcoming retreat, and I want to, like, if you can tell us a little bit about it, and also how can people join your retreats if they can.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. So it's coming up soon in March, mid-March, and we're actually traveling to this beautiful little retreat center in Mexico. It's right on the water. We have the whole place to ourselves. We're going to be doing daily meditation and yoga and sound healing and cacao ceremony in the sweat lodge, and we're going to go snorkeling and go to a waterfall, like all of these amazing activities. And they're all designed to help people begin to learn how to heal, release, let go, and hopefully be able to just take a break from everyday life where it's just so hard to make a change and really step into this loving, supportive container of other people who are just as motivated as you are to be happy. And so, yeah, this will be our 11th one, and there really are just the most amazing, wonderful experiences. So people can learn about that on our website. It's called Sanctuary Bridge Transformations. And we also have a beautiful video. We had a videographer come to our last retreat and he captured some of the preciousness of the experience. And so I'd be happy to share that with your viewers as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. So how long is the retreat? Like how many days?
Great question. Yeah, so it's 7 days.
Wow.
7 days. Yeah, so there's a really good amount of time to be able to really feel like you're going through a process and that you can feel a transformation when
Did
when
you
you
guys
leave.
go through the process?
Yes. Yeah. So Angel Lee, my business partner, and I, we both do. We're there right alongside you. So that's the other thing that's kind of unique about us. We don't just come in and do a talk for here and there all the time, but we participate in the sweat lodge. We participate in the yoga. We participate in the breath work. And so, we just are right there sharing in the experience with everybody else.
Beautiful. That's really
Mhm.
exciting. And, how can people know that is for them?
That's a good question as well. So I think one way is that there's going to be something inside of you that feels a longing, a calling for something deeper, more meaningful in your life. Maybe there's just a feeling of disconnection from yourself or from other people. Um, or maybe there's like a longing for that sense of like something more, like, what is my purpose?
Mhm.
And then also, one of the things that's really unique about our retreats is that we are sober. And so that's really inviting for folks who are working with overcoming addictions. And we also encourage people to come with their friends and their family. And we do a lot of intergenerational trauma healing, as well as create the foundation for these relationships to have a shared dialogue of conscious communication and connection that's often missing in people's lives. So when you go back home, you and that person now have this shared experience to bring you closer together and to support one another in your ongoing integration and growth.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lotus, for
Mhm.
sharing all of this great information.
Yeah.
I hope people like go ahead and check out the retreats and sign up if you feel you need it. And now we came to the end of the segment with Lotus, but we'll be back with another guest. So stay with
Mhm.
us. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura, and this is your host, Noura Almasri. We'll be right back.